Hi everyone, welcome to Spooktober! So if you've been following me for a while, you would know that last year I did a Spooktober series, and in that I reviewed probably like one movie per week, obviously Halloween related, or slightly horror themed anyway. I think I watched The Shining, The Babadook. I honestly can't remember what other films I did. So this October I've been trying to watch quite a few horror movies. I've missed out a couple of classics. I'm yet to see Friday the 13th or any number of those. Same with any of the Halloween films. Those are next on my list. I've watched so many like breakdown videos on them, so I feel like I've seen them. But once again, like my last catch-up video, this is me going through all the movies and TV shows that I have watched over the past month. There are quite a few. I don't know how I managed to do anything else over the last couple of weeks, but if you want to hear what I have been watching, then please keep watching. Alright, I'm going to start off with TV because there are quite a few less of those opposed to movies. If you watched the catch-up video, you know we would have started Star Trek Discovery and Parks and Recreation. We haven't continued Parks and Recreation and we're now 2 weeks behind on Discovery, so whoops. A couple of weeks ago, Riverdale returned to Netflix, and yes, it's trashy. It's fine. It's just teenage kids with problems, but it is addictive and I love it. So I've watched the first 2 episodes. That's all that's out by now. Episode 3 should come out in just a couple of days. So I'm so excited that that's back. And then of course Stranger Things at the end of the month. To have both of those out at the same time, I am super excited. Next up is a crime-centered TV show. Similar, well not similar, but kind of the same format as to the one I watched last month. This one is called The Investigator, a British crime story, and the one I watched, which was 4 parts. I think 4 parts, and they are around an hour long each. This one's on Carol Packman case. Basically a lady disappeared back in, I can't even remember now, like the 70s or the 80s? Maybe even later, I can't remember, but she disappeared, and yeah, she'd just been missing for about 30 years or so before anyone started to investigate what had happened. So it's an investigator from Britain, and he just goes in and interviews family and anyone that wasn't interviewed at the time of her disappearance and solves the case. So if you're interested in crime, I'd highly recommend that one. It is so interesting to see what was missed at the time of her disappearance and kind of the negligence of the British police. And another crime TV show, one that I've been meaning to watch for ages. My mum has been telling me to watch it, and as I'm a huge Gillian Anderson fan, it's kind of strange that I haven't watched it before. So it's The Fall, 3 seasons. I think there's just 3 seasons, makes sense. All up on Netflix. Binged those in a couple of days. There are only 5 or 6 episodes per series, standard for like a ABC, BBC kind of show, an hour long each, centers on one case, goes over the 3 seasons. One case, lots and lots of, individual, I guess, murders, and it's all very sexualized, messed up murders. So if you're into that, it's a little bit heavy, but very good. The main, I guess, protagonist is Jamie Dornan from 50 Shades of Grey. So that's really interesting to watch. I would highly recommend watching that. Really easy to binge as well. Gillian Anderson is amazing. And a TV show, it is another British crime TV show that I was advised to watch, is Broadchurch. Now, I actually watched this a couple of months ago, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I watched it. That is also addictive. I wasn't sure if I was going to be into it, but I did, and I might have talked about this before actually. David Tennant is the main detective in that, and I'm not the biggest David Tennant fan. I don't know, just rubs me the wrong way. But I really liked him in this, so I'd highly recommend watching Broadchurch as well. I think there's 3 seasons. Maybe I only watched the first 2 though. I can't remember. Very good though. Alrighty, 2 to go, and one of those is the biggest shows on Netflix at the moment, being Mindhunter. So I was so excited to watch this, but I have only managed to watch episode 1. My partner wanted to watch it with me, but he has been so busy that I'm about to give up and just watch it by myself. Probably actually going to do that after this. It's quite a gloomy day. I have exam study to do, so I'm going to binge that after I filmed this. Maybe in another couple of weeks I'll let you guys know what I thought of it. So far, it's pretty intense. It is so interesting and obviously something that I'm really interested in. So I can't wait to watch that. Apparently from episode 2 onwards, it gets a little bit more intense, a bit more messed up. Talking about serial killers and murders here. And another show that I am addicted to, I watch them all the time, all the ones on Netflix, whatever's on TV. Just something really easy to put on in the background. It's what I've been watching while I've been studying, and that is Border Patrol. I think this one isn't Border Patrol, but it's like border security. Basically, they're on the border of the US and Canada, but also in the main like JFK airport and another airport, the main ones in the United States. They're just so interesting to watch and so easy to laugh at the stupidity of people trying to bring in drugs and meat and not declaring any money and just the stupid things that people say. They're just so entertaining to watch. Alrighty, let's move on to movies. There are, of course, quite a few. I'm going to go through them quickly. One of them is Passengers. I didn't watch this at the cinema. It looked like just this big, messy amalgamation of lots of different sci-fi movies that probably wasn't going to be good. But I did enjoy it. It's Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I really enjoyed it just for something easy to watch of a night time. Kind of didn't go exactly where I thought it was going to go, but still a lot better than I thought it would be. So if you're after just something easy to watch, bit of sci-fi, bit of space, just chuck it on in the background, and I can't see how you would dislike it. Like, it's not that bad. And if you watched last month's catch-up video on what I've been watching, you would know that I watched Scream for the first time. After that, we watched Scream 2, 3, and 4. Of course, I love them. They're so fun. It kind of gave me context for another movie that I'm about to list that we watched last night. Yeah, they weren't as scary as I thought. I think number 4, of course, if you watch them, you know they try to follow all the horror tropes of films, but they did it so well that number 4, which tries to mirror number 1, even like cinematography wise and special effects, I don't know, it just like really mirrors number 1, and I really enjoyed all of them. Even though they're on Netflix or Stan. I think they're on Stan. I'll probably end up buying them because I can't imagine it would actually be too much to buy a pack of all of them. And the movie I was just talking about that gave me context from Scream is Scary Movie. Now, this came out in 2000. I didn't watch it at the time because I was only 8, but I would have watched it a few years after, and I can remember it still scaring me because I had no idea what was going on. And I've seen a few others of the movies that are now referenced in Scary Movie, which made it not super funny because it really is crap. But it was still interesting to see kind of what horror movies they're pulling from. So yeah, not the best, but still enjoyed watching it again and actually kind of understanding it, opposed to being scared. We also watched Fright Night. Now, this is, I can't remember where things are. It's either on Netflix, it's either on Stan. But I was expecting this to be really good, scary. Actually, really, I had no idea what it was about, but you know, it just kind of seems like a classic horror movie. And it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. The first half, I was really bored. Second half picked up. I think the only thing that really kept me going were the special effects. They're amazing in this. It was just a really kind of easy, cheesy horror movie to watch though. I did enjoy the second half. First half was a bit slow, had no idea what was going on. We kind of thought we'd missed a chunk of the movie. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was still fun to watch. I'm glad we watched it. Definitely, you know, wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be though. All right, next movie on the list is Crazy on the Outside, which, it's a Tim Allen film. Stars Sigourney Weaver as his wife. No, his sister, because JJ Simmons is her husband. Weird cast. basically Tim Allen gets out of jail, and then, you know, it's just the ups and downs of him getting out of jail, falling relationship with his probation officer. I don't know, you know, it's a Tim Allen movie. Easy fun, nothing amazing, but crazy on the outside. Next up is the Meyerowitz Stories, which is another Netflix original. It's quite long, it's quite slow, nothing exciting happens, but it stars Ben Stiller, Dustin Hoffman, and Adam Sandler. So it's pretty, I don't know, it's just weird and slow and all over the place. Kind of doesn't know what it wants to be. I don't know, I just got excited because there was a guest appearance from Adam Driver in it, but you know, I don't know, it's just strange, it's just slow, wasn't very exciting. I mean, it's nice to see Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler together and just not be insanely stupid. Ben Stiller doesn't age though. I mean, really, that is Adam Sandler, which is kind of strange. But we didn't really enjoy it. We were kind of just waiting for it to end. I don't know, some people might really enjoy it, but we didn't even think it was worth, you know, for the artistic value, I guess, because it's not standard movie kind of format. But yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I was excited to watch it. It did look really good, but yeah, very slow. Kind of boring. And while we're here, I'll just mention another Ben Stiller, Adam Driver movie, which I had watched before, but I went on a complete Netflix binge the other night and I just put it on in the background, and that's While We're Young. Also has Naomi Watts in it. Yeah, it's just a middle-aged couple kind of getting bored with life. They meet a younger couple, and they try to get like reinvigorated towards life and things they're doing, because they're kind of inspired by the younger couple. But then that turns them away from their actual middle-aged, like same-aged friends. It's kind of them finding out what they should be doing, who they are, what they want. It involves like, talks about them having kids. I don't know, it's just a really easy movie. Adam Driver's character is quite frustrating and a bit of a dick. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, it's not too exciting. But yeah, once again, just something really easy to watch. Something else I just put on the background because I've been studying and I'm not really watching much stuff, is Belief, The Possession of Janet Moses. So this is set in New Zealand. A woman has some relationship problems, and then her family afterwards, in her kind of downward spiral of, you know, hitting depression and suffering what it's like to find out that her partner was cheating on her. But as that gets worse, her family believe that she has been possessed by like a Maori demon. I'm not really sure on the specifics of that. But yeah, it's about possession and the crime that is committed as a result of that. So that was really interesting. Not too long, you know, like an hour and a half. So intense though, as they really get into kind of the possession and the exorcism side of things. That's really intense because it is a real crime. They recreate it. They're interviewing people that hurt. These are her family members. So it's really quite intense. So you've got to spare an hour and a half and you're looking for, you know, some exorcism. Then I'd highly recommend watching that. Wasn't my favorite, but yeah, really intense and really interesting as well. Besides that, on my same Netflix binge day, I watched The Babysitter, which I thought was going to be crap, but really wasn't. So that was actually really funny to watch. They make so many movie references, and the relationship between like the main young guy, the guy that's being babysat, and his babysitter is just awesome. Obviously the Netflix synopsis says they're in a satanic cult. That's really funny, gets really intense, but still just like a cheesy 80s kind of horror movie. So I would highly recommend watching that as well. It is quite fun. Another fun movie, definitely the scariest on the list, is Scooby-Doo. So Ben loves Scooby-Doo. We've kind of been toying with the idea of watching it again. So we watched that the other day. Number 1 is on Netflix, but number 2 isn't. But number 1 is fun. You know, they go to the scary island. Mr. Bean is the bad guy. So that's really fun. If you haven't watched Scooby-Doo, highly recommend watching it. It's just so much fun to watch. The last lighthearted film that we watched is It's a Guy Thing. It's just a guy on his bachelor night, kind of makes a mistake, and then it's the story of him up until his wedding and kind of all the things he must face. It's a comedy, it's very funny. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So if you're after just like a comedy, then yeah, It's a Guy Thing. It's pretty funny to watch. The actors are all great. Classic kind of, I don't know, early 2000s movie maybe. What more can you expect from that? And last movie, I mean, I've probably missed some, but this one is quite intense. It is 1922, so an adaptation of a Stephen King book. This is intense and interesting. So you've probably seen the trailers, but it's kind of obviously set to start with in 1922. It's a farmer and his wife, they have a son, but the main kind of narrative is that she owns the land that they live on, huge farming land, but she wants to sell it and move to the city. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to stay there and farm with his son. Then what happens? I mean, this is probably not giving any spoilers away. I'm pretty sure Netflix are pretty upfront with what happens. But then it's them dealing with that. It's him dealing with it, but also his son dealing with it. And it goes through probably 6 years or so post her disappearance. Yeah, it's kind of intense. It does seem very Stephen King-y. Not that I've seen too much, but definitely same kind of tropes from his stories. And I really enjoyed it. I liked the period that it was set in, the area of America that it was set in. I think it just makes it so much more creepy. Yeah, definitely went a different way than I thought it was going to with some of the scenes especially, but I would highly recommend watching it. It's obviously not a light movie to chug on in the background. You should probably watch Crazy on the Outside if you want to do that. But 1922 was great. So excited that I can start, you know, dipping my toes into some Stephen King. I'm not the biggest reader, so I'm kind of scared of the size of some of the books. But yeah, 1922 I really did enjoy. So let me know guys if you're enjoying these, hearing what I've been watching. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me binge watching all of these. I know the other day I just pretty much sat on the couch and watched movie after movie after movie. But if you guys are enjoying these, then please let me know and I'll continue to do it every month. This is my Spooktober version. I just didn't get a chance to do individual movie reviews of horror films this October. I've got a second job now, which I haven't started, but has been quite a process. And also, of course, I'm at uni. I wasn't last year, so less time. I hope this suffices. But if you guys have any other suggestions for videos, please leave them down below. I'm kind of at a loss as to what to do at the moment, but leave any comments down below. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!